So you want to come to the UK for your master's program, but you are not sure of what to expect. You are confused. You are worried. Look no further. Today I'm going to bring someone special who is going to give you first-hand experience of what it feels like to be in your shoes. She has been in your shoes before. She has scaled through and she's now thriving in her career. So if you want to find about what it feels like to be a student in the UK, the challenges and the lessons to learn and the prospects that you would get after being a student in the United Kingdom, you are in the right place. Someone is going to share that with you today. So just stay tuned, watch this video to the very end so that you can benefit from everything that this person has been through. They say experience is the best teacher. So you need to learn from other people's experience so you don't make the same mistakes I've made before. So today we have someone special in our midst. Her name is Bisola. Hi, hi.
Hi, my name is Bisola, and yeah, I'm a finance professional, and nothing really. So yeah,
That's
that's
all about you. Oh yeah, yeah.
yes,
That's
that's what
cool.
I can
That's
say.
cool. Yeah, Bisola was once a student. She was a finance student in the University of Plymouth. We met there, and she has so many beautiful things to tell us today. So, the first question I want to ask you, Bisola, today is: what did it feel like packing your bags? Packing your bags from your home country to in another country that you've never been before to start a new life. How did you feel? What were the emotions like for you? Why did you make that decision? What motivated you? Do you want to share that with us?
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you. For me, it was a mix of emotions, mixed of feelings, and all of that. I really didn't know what to think. I really didn't know what to expect because it was like a first time making that kind of move. That I mean, going far away from my country, going far away from my parents, my family, and my friends. So I really did not know what to expect, but I had prayerfully engaged in that decision, and
Mm.
I was scared. I was scared to be very honest, but I was scared because I'm like, how am I going to survive? Where do I stay? What kind of people will I meet?
Mm-hmm.
How long am I going to stay there? Will I get a permanent visa for my stay, or do I have to go and come back later? So those
Mm-hmm.
were the kind of questions I was asking, like, where do I fellowship? Like, do I have to restart my life again? So it was a
Yeah.
mix of emotions. The starting all over, like you're building your life from the scratch. I really didn't know what to expect, but because I had already based my decision on God, I was confident that if God be for me, who can be against me? So that was
Exactly.
really what helped me, and I literally packed my bag. I packed my bag and I left. Painful, and
Wow.
I cried before leaving.
Oh, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
Wow. But I mean, today you can look back at it and you're smiling over it. It means that it has been a worthwhile decision. So it means that if you're planning to come to the UK for your master's program, stop being scared. Someone has gone through that before. And look at her. She's smiling. She's happy. She made a good decision. So that's really good. So the next question I want to ask is that what was the greatest culture shock that you had? Like to me, for me, I'm not even related to education now. Coming to the UK in terms of the environment, my greatest culture shock was working. Like they work a lot in this country. Like I
Right.
remember when we had to have like lecture in
In the
what's it
morning.
called now? MDEC building. And then
Yeah.
we still had to come back to, the main campus where we had I can't remember, close to the library. Like we had to work like 30 minutes. It was like I was like, what kind of suffering is this? Like who sent me? Back home I didn't have to work this much. Like I didn't have to like be trekking and but look at me now, I do 10K steps without being scared about anything.
Right.
Like it's just very easy, right? So that's like a huge culture shock for me, like walking and walking and walking. So if you're used to driving in Nigeria or wherever you're coming from, you always like take the buses and everything, you'll be prepared to work. And it's a good way to live healthy, like, right?
Yes.
So,
It's
how
good.
about you, Bisola? What was like the greatest culture shock? Or what were some of the culture shocks that you experienced coming to the UK to study?
First, the culture shock was in terms of studies was the lecturers, like you have to do your own in-depth study yourself.
Mm.
They believe that because I came in as a master's student, so they
Mm-hmm.
believe that the fact that you're coming in as a master's student, you have the foundation already.
Yeah.
And what they are just trying to do is just to build on your foundation. and
Exactly.
for that they really do not go in depth, so they give you like the 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 outer layer and
Mm-hmm.
expect you to dig inside and do your
Mm-hmm.
own studies and then come out with something. You can ask questions, and also that was actually really shocking for me, because I was like, where I was coming because I actually schooled at Ghana, and in
Ooh.
terms of, yeah, the way they teach us, the lecturers and all of that is quite different and all of that. But I would say I enjoyed it because it made me become more focused. Like I owned the journey. I
Mm-hmm.
owned the learning journey as well, and I knew what I was actually doing, because I was actually making findings myself. So it actually stuck with me, and it was so that was one of the culture shock. Another of the second culture shock.
Before you go into that, I think I
Yeah.
just wanted to like chip in into the fact that you have to. I think one of the lecturers said that masters is like 70% your self study and 30% the classes. So they
Yeah.
expect you to do like your in depth work. So I think this might be especially for someone that wants to pivot to a new career. Maybe you've been in science before, you want to go to a business related study. You have to be prepared. That's what you're trying to say. That don't
Yeah.
think that they're going to feed you. They're going to give you all
Yeah.
the materials to go and
No.
read. No, you should be
No.
prepared.
You
Okay,
have to do
thank you
your
for
own
that. Thank you
findings.
for
Yeah,
that.
thank you for chipping that in. It was very important. Another culture shock would be maybe the weather. Back in Nigeria,
Yeah.
I really did not understand why people tuck their hands into the pockets. I was like, maybe they are just freestyling or it's just for fashion and all. But when I got here, I found out that it was because of the code. Like they literally put their hands in their pocket because of the code. And
Yeah,
also
for
when I
once.
came, I had to join them. It was funny, but he helped make my hands warm. And oh, another culture shock is when you're going to buy something, they don't give you the bags for free. You have to pay. So I've paid like 5 times before it occurs to me that you can't be wasting money like this. You have to save. Ten
Yeah.
pence is something to save. So anytime I go to the store, I try to always go with my bag, my own bag, because if you don't go with it, you have to buy a new bag every time you go to the store. So that was my culture shock. And what other culture? Oh, I don't know if this is right to say on camera, but I really
Okay.
don't know. But man, I found out that a lot of them don't wash their shoes.
Well, I think it's because it's not very dusty here. Like, I mean, coming from Nigeria, that it was a very dusty place. Like, you
Okay,
cannot afford not to wash your shoes.
I
But
mean,
here, it's not really dusty, so they don't really like pay attention to that.
yeah. So it was really shocking for me. I'm like, no, no, that's dirty. You need to wash your shoes. Yeah, and also the food as well. The food was shocking because mostly where I'm coming from, I eat amala, eba. You know, this food, my cultural food. I think
Cabs. We
maybe the
eat
cultural
cabs.
difference
Yeah.
actually played a role, because mostly what they do here is burger, chicken, and I'm tired of chicken. I've ate chicken like, and I'm tired of chicken already. So the food was a part of the shock for me, to be honest. Like I can't easily just go to a restaurant and say, you know what, give me amala.
Yeah.
Give
Even
me this
rice.
or
Rice is not
something.
common here. Like, they don't eat rice
No,
like
they
that.
don't. They barely even eat rice. To be honest, they barely eat rice. They do more of chicken and chips and burger, and
Fast
it
food.
was a culture shock. So I struggled to fit in, and but I still didn't fit in that area. So because I still make my own homemade food, and yeah, I still go for my amala and eba anytime I feel like. So yeah,
Yeah, so it means if you're an international student coming to the UK, make sure you pack enough food stuff,
good
your
stuff.
local food stuff. If you know that
Yeah.
you're not able to like adapt to different culture and their food, please pack your food. Stock up, like can take you up to 3 months. At least you know that the first 3 months you are able to like at least still like
Yeah.
enjoy your local meals before you now start like looking for alternatives. And of course, those if you're looking for maybe African food, Asian foods, they're actually available. It's just that it might be a little bit expensive. So you might not be able to afford it the first few months when you come in. So, but don't worry too much about the food. Let me
Yeah,
say
one
that.
more thing, one culture shock as well was the transport system. The transport system is very effective. To be very
Mm,
honest, it's very effective. Unlike where I was coming from, Nigeria, oh my god, the traffic and everything. But over here, like when the bus tells you that they are coming by this time, they meet up with that time, and you are
yeah.
sure to know that you get to where you're going to within these minutes or hours. And also, they are very effective as regards the transport system, and which is something I really love and enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good because they have like a set timetable, right? And so all you have to do is download the app, download the timetable, and you know
Yeah.
exactly when the buses come.
And if
So you
there's
don't have
any
to worry.
delay, they notify you in advance, like delayed by
Exactly.
5 minutes, and oh, it's really impressive.
So you can actually
Yeah.
save cost. You don't need to bother about buying a car or something like the maybe Canada or US where I know that you
Right.
have to like, get a car, you have to be mobile. Here, don't worry
Yep.
too much about getting a vehicle. There's a good transport system that would help you.
Yeah.
So away from culture shock, let us go to the academic system.
Okay.
How does it differ from where you are coming from? Okay, you said it's called in Ghana. So in terms of the academic system, are there any specific things that students need to look out for, that they need to pay more attention to, and all of that? Or how did it differ, and what lessons did you like learn from studying in the UK in terms of the academic system? Is it very good?
I would say yes. The academic system is good for me. It's good because I did accounting in bachelor's, but for masters I did finance, and also I had like a bit of a background to what I was
Mm.
doing, and also what really helped at first was going into a course in my own career line,
Failed.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy for me to adapt to the teaching style and everything. And like I mentioned earlier, you just have to do your own in-depth study yourself, and yeah, that was really helpful. I would say the way they teach and everything is not that bad. Like I said, you just have to
Mm.
own the journey. You have to
Mm.
own the journey. Yeah, if you really want to get value for money, you paid a lot of money. So if you really want to get value for money, you have to pay attention. Don't skip classes, because if you skip classes, it might affect as well. And you need to be up to date, be updated. Talk to your colleagues, your classmates, ask them questions. What did I miss? Okay, where are we at? How do I go about these things? You won't know everything, but you can always
Yeah.
ask questions. The lecturers are always open and they are available to answer your questions, which is really commendable. Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to speak to you, they want to hear from you. You just have to send them an email or schedule a meeting with them, and that is it. And I would say the teaching style wasn't really bad for me. It wasn't really bad. I don't know, someone else might have a different experience, but I said, like, it was easy for me because I did a course in my own field already. So most of the things that were being taught was like a build up from what I've done previously, and what I just need to do was to learn more, expand my knowledge base. And of course, it's a different system. The tax system used in Nigeria is different from what is used here, and even
Exactly.
in Ghana and all of that. So it's different. It's just that you have to relate most of the stuff to the
The
UK. You have
UK.
to relate most of the stuff to the UK, and it wasn't really bad for me, to be honest. And I enjoyed doing the research. I enjoyed
Yeah.
doing the research because the way I did my own dissertation back in bachelor's was quite different from this place. This place, you are more involved in the journey. They teach you data collection. Like, these are skills you learn while studying, and this wasn't really there for me back in Ghana. Like, I really didn't own the journey and everything. But this place, there is an evidence that you collected the data. Yes, there's a
You
proof
can't
that you
manipulate
collected
the
it.
data.
Yeah, you cannot manipulate things. There's also a proof of how you edited your data to give you meaningful information and all of that. There's evidence of how you drew your conclusions. So it was really, I would say for me, it was a learning phase that you have to go through. It's a learning phase that you have to own. You have to be open to get more from it. Value for money again. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brilliant contribution. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
that, for expanding. And I just wanted to chip in the fact that we had to collaborate a lot. I remember doing investments, that investment work that everybody
Yeah, it
was
was
running
really
helter
tough.
skelter. I was like, no,
Yeah,
we can't work on our own. We have to work as a team. Bring your idea,
exactly.
let me bring my
Yeah,
idea. So
you have to ask
collaboration,
questions, meet your
yeah.
colleagues, because one person might know something that you don't know, another person
Mm-hmm.
might know something you know, and the other, sharing
Yeah,
ideas was really helpful. To be honest,
yeah,
sharing ideas was really helpful. So, it helps you build these skills that you will even need in the workspace, and also
yeah,
skills as collaboration, data analysis, bringing meaningful
Presentation.
information,
Remember in
presentation.
financial analysis class, we always presenting those
Yeah,
put
we're
us a
always
group. You
yeah.
have to present like all those kind
Exactly.
of things.
So
Yeah.
I would say like more than the theoretical aspect, it was more of practical for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
also it helped you, it prepared me personally, prepared me for the workspace.
Yeah.
It prepared me because most of the things I do at work right now, I'm like, I did this in masters. Like this is
Yeah.
another interpretation of what I've done before. So it was easy to adapt. It was easy to communicate. It was easy to ask questions, and it was easy to own my job, to be a
Yeah.
boss in what I was doing. So that was it for me.
Thank you. Thank you. That
Thank
was really
you.
brilliant. And then the last thing I wanted to just add was the brilliant resources that they have in the UK compared to where we're coming from in terms of the online resource library. And
Yeah,
what was it
like
that we had? That we had all those. Oh, can't remember the name now. That online library you can like research journals
yeah,
and all
that
of
you
those
can go
things.
through different websites to get
Yeah, like
data, and you don't
everything.
necessarily need to visit the library. You can do it at
Yeah.
the comfort of your home. You can
Yeah.
access data from, it was really
Anything.
helpful from
Yeah.
different sources. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in Nigeria, I mean, I schooled in Nigeria. We were struggling with going to Google looking for papers. Here, there is an
Yeah,
online
but yeah, you can
resource
easily
for.
go to a
As in,
particular website. We have to
yeah,
log into, oh goodness, I've
can't
forgotten
remember the
that
name
right
now.
now. Yeah, we have to log into a particular place where we can get resources from different sources. And
Yeah,
yeah, and you can
yeah.
know if they are good
Bloomberg.
papers because they have ratings, and or you can use
Mm-hmm.
a high quality journal for your research. So it was really helpful. Yeah,
Yeah. So, guys, this is to tell you that school is not scam.
it's
School
not.
is not scam. Although we'll get to the other part, but it means that there are so many skills that you can, you can build, you can learn while schooling. So I think that if you want to invest in your master's program, you're not making a mistake. There are so many things that you can learn from it. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. The conversation has been really interesting. I want to take it to a much deeper level. Like, let's talk about finances. How did you manage your finances? Tuition fees, accommodation, your personal expenses. You were a single student, like you came alone, you didn't have a family. Like, how were you able to support yourself? I know it was like in a very trying period, comparing the exchange rate of Nigeria to the UK. And I mean, I know that it's not smiling. How were you able to like manage yourself during that period?
Okay, so I will just take you through the journey because to be
Mm,
honest, it wasn't really easy because I
mm.
came in alone, like comparing to other people that will come in with their partner. I think Esther came with her family as well, and
Yeah.
so it was just me. So that was even more reason to be scared. That can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do
Yeah.
it? But like I said, like if God be for you, nothing can be against you. To be honest,
Exactly.
even the financial crisis and everything, and the plan was different when before I came in. The plan was to pay with Form A, but
Oh
unfortunately
yeah.
to the UK,
Everything's scattered.
when the new president came in, they scrapped Form A. And funny was that my Form A was at the point of materializing. We just need the last person to
Ooh.
just approve or something, and
Oh
it will
my
come through.
god.
Yeah, but all that just pulled out, and it was really devastating, to be honest. It was really scary, and balancing the worries with studies together, it wasn't really easy. It wasn't really easy, to be honest, because it was a lot of sleepless nights, and balancing that wasn't really easy. Managing my finances when I got in, because you can only work part time, right? And
20 hours a week.
exactly 20 hours a week. It wasn't really easy. I don't want to say this, but to be honest, like, some people would do more, right? And just balance it depending on how the week comes out here. But it wasn't really easy to even the 20 hours and going for lectures and coming this thing and all. So you were not really really earning more, except if maybe the per hour rate is very high.
Hi.
That's when you can cover. Some people had that opportunity where they were doing 20 hours and they were still earning high, and also it was really helpful. But I really didn't get that opportunity, but I couldn't still do more than 20 hours because I had so much I was doing as well, and I just had so much hours. And even when you are doing 20 hours, the 20 hours is not stable because there are different jobs you will do. Be
Yeah.
prepared. Be prepared to do any kind of job because just prepare for the
Drop your pride.
so yeah, drop your pride. Prepare for the unprepared. Yeah, because different things can come up. So I had to do some menial jobs that saw me through studies. And even though it wasn't really enough, right, but I was still able to like pay for my rent. And again, I went for a cheaper rent. I did not say I want to live a big girl's life and go for expensive
Mm-hmm.
house
Mm-hmm.
rent. No, you
Yeah.
have to be
Delayed
sensible to be
gratification.
on. Exactly, you have to delay gratification. I had to like go for a cheaper rent where I was living in a shared accommodation. In fact, we were
Mm-hmm.
sharing the toilets and the bathroom and all of that. Yeah, because I needed to save money and needed to, cover up for the school fees and everything. And I think I had part of the scholarship, yeah. But it's
Mm.
not still, even though it's something, it's still not something. And I already paid the
Yeah.
deposit. So I had like about £11,000 or so to cover up for. And that was what I was trying to save up for. But if I didn't, the Form A had come through, I would have had lesser to pay. But the Form A didn't come through. I had to convert naira back to pounds. The pain, oh my god.
Oh, and then the exchange rate had
Exchange
like
rate.
gone higher, so it wasn't really
Yeah, the
favorable.
exchange rate went up and it was really so sad, to be honest. It was really so sad. So delayed gratification helped me going for a cheaper rent, also managing my expenses in terms of my phone bills, because I know a lot of people then would they had the opportunity of getting a phone and then paying for it and then paying.
iPhone.
It's also increased the cost, but I maintained my phone and I
Mm-hmm.
went for the cheaper phone rates. I think I was paying just £10 a month, and
Ooh,
it
that's
was
good.
there. I was trying to save cost, right? So I was paying £10 a month. It wasn't really bad for me, And I was because I know sometimes I'll be in the library or in school. I can use the Wi-Fi. I can come home. And I went for an all bills inclusive apartment, so that really
Thank
helped me.
you.
Yeah, that really
Mm-hmm.
helped me. And with my food, like I said, I prefer homemade meals, so I make my food myself instead of going out
Mm-hmm.
to the restaurant, because going out to restaurants to eat and everything will cost you more. So I was able
Yeah.
to utilize cooking. Cooking is a very good skill that you need to get. So I was able to cook for myself and store my food. Like, okay, I know that, okay, if I'm spending £50, this is what I'm for my food. This is what I'm spending for a month. And trust me, there is a way you have to manage yourself to ensure that you stick to your plans. If not, you're going to overspend. So I managed my food stuff as well. I managed them by cooking my own meal instead of going to the restaurants. And the bills was, my rent was bills inclusive, and it was cheaper as well, and it was just affordable. And yeah, that was how I was able to like save a lot. And I did not say I want to travel, because I know a lot of people. Yeah, because you're in the UK, you want to start traveling, you want to go
Go
here, you
to
want
all
to
the
go here.
European countries.
Exactly. You want to tour the Europe and you're still owing school fees. I didn't see that as a wise investment for me, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I felt like there's time for everything, but this time I just need to
Mm-hmm.
focus on first thing first. So I delayed gratification. I didn't decide that I want to go on any tour, I want to travel and all of that. So that helped me save as well. So even people that were even doing more hours, I was able to save more than them just because I was able to
Mm.
manage my expenses. So
Yeah.
managing
Good budgeting
expenses,
skills.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
skill that you really need as well. The cooking skills, managing your expenses, delaying gratification, all important, and that really helped me save a lot, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very brilliant answer. Like it, I'm sure everybody has like helped and learned from Bitola's, experiences. I really, really, I envy you, and I know I should give you kudos. That's
Oh,
because when I see single people that come to say like, how are you doing it? Like,
right.
because I know it's not easy at all, and
Mm.
I was so happy when you told me you had paid your school fees. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, that's
let me quickly
brilliant.
chip this in.
Like,
At some
yeah,
point, when the rent was, when I saw that I need to meet up with the school fees, I will say this: I had to get a roommate to stay with me. I had to get someone to
yeah.
stay
So you
with
could
me,
like
and we shared the
cut on the
cost. So I was
cost.
paying like
Yeah.
a little, and the
Half
other
of
person,
it.
so he helped me save more as well. So it's just
Yeah.
all this. Yeah,
Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. That's really good.
yeah.
And then I think what also helped was the fact that University of Plymouth had like instrumental like
Payment plan.
payment
Yeah,
plan, so you don't have to like So I think that's another thing to look out for in terms of schools. Look for schools that
payment
have like
plan. Yeah.
instrumental payment plans, so you don't have to be choked and all of that. One last question about schools, about your studies was that did you feel like if you want to go back in time, what would you do differently as an international student? And were you treated differently as a black person? How did you feel being like a black person in a foreign country and a black student? Are there any things that you want to do differently, or are there any learning points that you think that someone that is coming to study that is black or of mixed color, needs to be aware of?
Thank you for that. I mean, own your journey, own yourself,
Mm-hmm.
respect your heritage, be proud of your culture, be proud of your skin tone, be proud of where you're coming from. You're not built
Mm,
differently. Just because we have different skin tone does not mean that we are different or a person is superior to you. Know what you're doing. Be yourself. Know what you're doing.
yeah.
Be a person of quality. Do not compromise. If you're given a job, do it very well. No matter what you find yourself doing, give it your best. Even your studies, even at workplace, even if it's a job you do not like, give it your best. There's this thing, good always find its way back to you, no matter how.
Yeah.
If you do something very well where people are not seeing you, it find its way back to you. And I could say that maybe that really paved a way for me coming into the country as a black student. In fact, I do not even identify myself as a black student because I am who God has called me to be. I see myself to be different, to be honest. I see myself to be
Yeah.
peculiar. Like, I know that, yes, you're schooling, I'm also schooling. Nothing different. You're living here. Yeah, good. I'm also living here. I'm paying my rent. You're paying your rent. We
Yeah.
are not different. The fact that you have a different skin tone does not make me lesser than you. So I honed myself. I had this self-confidence. I have this self-confidence that, you're not superior to me just because I of my skin tone. And that really helped me. So be confident enough. I'm not saying fight with them. Everything is not fight. Everything is not coming at you. They are not attacking you. Just be yourself and do what you need to do. And even in school, I would say we were mostly dominated by blacks in class. We were mostly from Africa, black people, and though we had few whites and all, but the blacks were more as well. And also, it didn't make me feel any different, unlike other courses where you see maybe two blacks and the others are white. And also, for
Mm-hmm.
me, it was
Mm-hmm.
really different because we're able to blend in and all of that. And of course, I had a community I belonged to. I attend a church, and the church also helped me belong to the society as well. So it's really built my confidence as well. I'm not alone. We are all in here together. So that
Yeah.
really helped me. And something I would do differently if I should go back into time would be to start applying for my desired job on time, irrespective of whether I have the experience in the UK or not. I'm not saying it's that bad, but I'm saying because policies changes, to be honest. UK policies can change at any time. So you want to take advantage of that policy at that moment. So because the policy changed immediately after we finished school, I think after our
Yeah.
masters, and they had to change the policies in March where a company cannot sponsor your work visa even in your field except they are able to meet a particular threshold and all of that. So one thing would be maybe, even though I started applying while in school, but I wasn't really serious about it. I really didn't make it a big deal, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
became serious with it after studies because back then in school I was like, I have a lot to do. I have to go and work. I have to go to classes. I have to do this. I have to do my research, coursework, assignments, everything. It was just too much. So I was like, the time for an intense application was not really there. I really didn't focus on it because I felt like there were other priorities. But to be honest, that is also a priority. So if I could go
Mm-hmm.
back in the hand of time, maybe I would have applied for a job earlier and maybe get a sponsored work visa because that would have helped me save a lot instead of paying for post study and all of that. And given the fact that the policies have changed right now as well, so getting a settled work visa is still a thing that you have to keep pushing. And if I'd maybe, but no regrets, if I can, this is like my second finance job right now after studies. And it's really amazes me that if I can get this, then I can still get the next one. But it's better to just start on time. If you had started, or if I had started on time, maybe, just maybe, but no regrets. God is good. And yeah, so that's what I would just like to pitch out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that brilliant contribution. I was going to say I really admire your confidence. That's one thing that stood out for me when I noticed you and everything. She's so confident. She's so proud of herself. She's so like you cannot step on Bisola's toes. She said, "No, that is not for me." Especially when we're talking about the job thing. Like you told that the hiring manager, that is not for me.
Yeah,
That's not. I was like, this lady is so confident,
yeah,
and I think that's something that every international student need to be aware of. If you come to the UK, you might be intimidated by the color of their skin, by how proficient their speech is. Like, oh, she talks so well, she talks, and you feel like maybe you don't know how to speak, you're not good enough. Imposter syndrome will kick in and all of that.
yeah,
But you have to exude confidence. Like you are good just the way you are. You are special,
yeah.
just as God has created you. So I mean, that's really something I really admire about you, and
Thank you.
keep it up, keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I
Thank
think
you.
we're almost getting to the end of
Let
this.
me just chip in something. Also, have
Yeah.
good friends as well that will push you
Mhm.
as well. Because I remember there was a time we were both communicating on, the jobs, like how is it going? Did you apply for this?
Yeah,
Have friends that
yeah.
will share jobs with you, share information
Mm-hmm.
with you that will push you. If your sets of friends are this kind of people that they do not aim for where you're going to, you will fall at their own side as well. But if you
Yeah,
have a friend in your circle that you guys are aiming towards this thing, it's easier. This person can tell you. I remember when Esther gave me a good news about her job, that she's gotten this job and all of that. I was like, I'm trusting God and all of that. Like, I'm really trusting God. Though I had a job, but it has not really materialized to the point I wanted it. I was like, don't worry, I
yeah,
start from your testimony and I will testify soon
yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
So that really encouraged me that, Esther got a job. I'm going to, it means God is in the neighborhood.
And it
I'm going
wasn't
to
even
get
long.
mine.
It wasn't long.
You
You
get
you
what you
had
get
your
what I mean?
testimony.
And I would say that
Yeah.
that has been really helpful. There are a lot of people that even with my job, and I've helped a lot of people get a job in their field that they didn't know they could get. And also I'm saying, like, surround yourself with the right people. They will point you to your direction.
In the right
So
direction.
yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe you have partially answered my next
Next, I
question,
was
right?
looking
That's
forward.
really good. So I was gonna say, like, what was life like after graduation, and how did you feel like people? I mean, many people are not prepared to hear unfortunately and all of that. And I know some people who graduated with us that have not gotten a job till date. Like, so how was it like? How was it? Were the struggles? What did you do differently? What do you think that people need to be aware of? You've kind of touched on some of these questions
Yeah.
anyway, but any final thoughts you want to give concerning
Oh,
that question?
life after graduation was, should I say, it was bliss, to be honest. For me, it was bliss, because even before the graduation, I had already started, like, because I was done with school fees, I was done with all those worries, so I knew what next for me. So I had already
Hmm.
started working towards it. To be honest, to thrive in a new country, you have to do what others are not willing to do. You have to pay the price. You have to spend that time. You have to spend that time. I would say, like, the busiest I've been in the UK is this period for me, because I have a target, because I have where I'm going to, and until I get there, I am not stopping. So
Mm.
yeah, to be honest, I'm not stopping, because there is more for me. I do not believe that I'm going to live a life of a mediocre just because I am a foreigner in this country. Scripture says that where the sole of our feet shall step upon, we shall possess. So I am
Yes.
possessing this nation, and until I get it, I am not stopping. So for me, I would say, like, I started earlier after graduation to pitch myself into where I want to be. I was doing a menial job. I wasn't really happy about the job, but did I stop? No. I did a cleaning job for records. I did a cleaning job. I wasn't stealing. I was doing a legal job. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
There's
was,
dignity in labor.
yeah, I mean, yeah, so, like, I didn't stop doing the job I was doing. I kept at it, but I was also focusing on getting a job in my field. A lot of people say, oh, it's difficult to get a job in your, don't limit yourself when they've not limited you to start with.
Mm.
So yeah, so I was really, really focused on getting my dream job, what I really wanted to do. Even if the first job I got wasn't really what I wanted, because I felt like, oh, I'm above this job, you know what I mean? Like, I'm above this job and all of that. But I did it anyway, thanks to the counsel of good people, like I mentioned. Thanks to the
Yeah.
counsel of them, like, they advised me, get this first, let this be on your CV, build your CV up. And I would say, even when I started my first job, I did not stop applying. I did not stop. A lot
Yeah.
of unfortunate emails. I'm like, me, do you know the job I've done in Nigeria with my experience and everything? See, scrap that. You're in a new country.
Yeah.
You have to, So the thought of building from scratch until I get to where I'm going to is really a hard work. It's really something you have to put in work to achieve, to be honest. So it
Yeah.
was more of that for me, and pitching myself like, I'm looking at this job. The truth is, you never can tell what job you can get. You might think you are not qualified for this job, they might think you're qualified for it. You might think you're not
Yeah.
qualified for this job, they might think you're overqualified for it. So
Yeah.
it's a difference. Your mentality and your mindset will really push you far. Go for it if you think you can do it. Go for it if you think you can do it. When I got my second job, it was really a thing of, I'm not settling, I'm just going to get, and I was really desiring financial increase and all of that. And that job came with an increase, although you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared because the hiring style in this country is quite different from where we are coming from. Yeah, you're going to be hired. They can first do like maybe an informal interview with you, then after that bring you in for a physical interview, face-to-face interview. Then you can do an assessment, then maybe meet and not maybe the top people in the
Like a C or
company as
CFO, yeah.
well. So it's a very serious thing. So you have to build your communication skills, your listening ability, your confidence level, because more than what you can do for the job, your character as well needs to be built. Because sometimes you might not have an experience on that job, because most jobs they will train you, trust me, you're going to learn on the job. But sometimes your character and these inner skills that you've gotten right from school can also help you get the right job, and it's just a matter of not settling. For me, it has not really been easy, to be honest. It has not really been easy, but we will definitely get there, in as much as you do not give up and you know where you're going to. Like I said, don't stop until you get it. So yeah.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
that is so rich. That is so rich. I mean, I think you've nailed it already. Like, and I love the fact that you're very ambitious. And I think that's something that every international student needs to be aware of. You have to be ambitious. You have to be a go-getter. You have to break the limitation. I think I was speaking to somebody that, like, there's a spirit of limitation in the UK that kind of makes you want to settle for less and
Yeah.
all of that. But I think, I mean, if you decide in your heart that you don't want to settle, you can break free, but you have to also be deliberate and intentional, because yes,
Takes
there'll be
a
things
lot.
that will test you. Like, unfortunately, will
Oh
test you and you'll be
goodness,
like, you'll be
yeah, that
crying
will
like,
test you.
no,
It will test
no.
your faith, to be honest. And
Yeah,
that's
it will
why it's
test.
very important to also have God by your side, to be honest. The word
Exactly.
of God will actually help you. It's a good place to start from, to build your confidence and build your esteem while applying for those jobs. That even when you receive, what I do right now, when I receive an unfortunate emails, when I see it, I just delete it. I'm like, that's not for me. I delete it. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's not
yeah.
for me, because when I get my congratulations,
Mm-hmm.
that's going
Mm-hmm.
to sit on my email, and I'm going
Yeah,
and I'm going to
yeah.
stay at it that finally this is for me. So you have to be ready. You have to brace yourself up. Even jobs that you are qualified for, like I said, they will tell you that you are not qualified for it, but that
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't break you. That should not
Mm-hmm.
stop you. Mistakes should not
Mm-hmm.
make you put your back on the ground. Stand up.
Yeah.
Another this, I saw a post on LinkedIn, and that post said that the fact that I've been applying for jobs but I've been rejected and all of that, but she made a point. She said the fact that my application gets viewed makes me feel like I am going to get something soon. And that
Wow,
is a
that's a
thing
positive
about
mindset.
mindset and perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the angle she saw
Really.
it from. And that kind
Mm-hmm.
of person, I believe she's going to get a job soon, because she's not stopping.
Definitely.
In as much as she gets a rejection today, the next minute I'm applying. That's what I'm doing. So don't stop. Don't limit yourself. Like Esther mentioned, there's a limitation, this thing, on foreigners when they come in. Don't limit yourself. Even
Yeah.
regardless of the emails, still continue applying till you get there.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I just want to, like, summarize a few things that you've mentioned. I think the key skills that, international students need to be aware of: time management. You mentioned that, being able to manage your time with work, with school, with your personal time, and all of that. You mentioned budgeting skills. You are coming to a foreign land. The currency is different from your home currency. Don't think, oh, this money is big. You have to cut down on unnecessary expenses,
Yeah.
frivolous expenses. Traveling, you don't need to, I mean, traveling is good, but you don't have that money yet. So calm down, don't travel, right?
Yeah.
Collaboration, work with people, learn to work with people when you are giving like a group assignment. Make sure that you're contributing. Don't be that person that will be dragging the team behind because
Yeah.
you won't be able to scale through your career if you
Hmm.
if you have that kind of mindset, right?
Hmm.
Build a community. She talked about church. Join a good local church if you're a Christian.
Yeah.
They would help and support you, and you'll be able to meet other people there, because sometimes people say they are lonely abroad, but I mean, if you join a good community like a church, like some school network groups, you can build friendship that can even last longer. So that is very important. What else did you mention? Be on your journey, be
Yeah.
confident, take this course as this is your own,
Yeah.
like, so you're like,
Try to get
take it
value
to
for
own
money.
it. Yeah, yeah, get your value from,
You
I mean,
didn't
you
spend
paid
all
for
that
it, so
money
you
to
should.
come to this country and just not get
Yeah,
anything. Yeah.
yeah, I think, yeah, I think that's another strong one. And I mean, be teachable, be open to learn new things and all of that. I think that's summary. Do you have any final words to, any international students willing to come to the UK? Any final words for them before we wrap
For
up the session?
me, if you're trying to come to the UK, I would honestly say that you do your findings. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, it's not easy, but it can be done. Make
Mm-hmm.
your plans, budgeting as well. If it's very helpful for you, pay your school fees, maybe part of your school fees, about 50% of your school fees before coming into the country. It's not easy. Immigration laws are tight. Make sure you
Constantly
have,
changing.
make sure that you've built your skills to a certain point before coming to the UK, to be honest. Make sure, because that would really help you, and not because you don't need to come in and then start taking a course or start learning something else and all of that. So if you've had that already, it can be a leverage for you to apply. And as soon as you get into it, even as an international student, you do not have to do a menial job. You can get a corporate job in your field even while working as a student. There are many jobs that would offer you a part-time role, but you have to pitch yourself. Also, if you're not getting anything coming, be prepared. Be willing to do something else. Be willing to do something else just to survive. So you have to
Pay the
survive
bills.
first before you thrive. And also
Mm.
that's how it is. And it is doable. You can do it. Before coming, think about your accommodation. Where will I stay? If you don't have an accommodation, who can I stay with? We check on LinkedIn, reach out to people that maybe schooled in that location, someone you can talk to, because I did that and it really helped me to give me like a background of the place I was coming to. Search, just research. If you're a Christian, research for a local church in that area. You can reach out to the pastor or something. They can help you and give you a soft landing, maybe pick you up from the train station when you arrive. So things like that, you need to be prepared. And of course, you can always go back home. You can always visit home. So you're going to
Yeah.
miss them, right? But you will feel the emotional touch at the airport. And when you come in and you see like, oh, this thing is getting hard and all of that, I cried. I cried a lot of times. I cried, but the cries were just because I'm the kind of person like I relieve my stress by crying. So I cried, and
Mm-hmm.
I cried, but it will get better. It will not always be the same.
Yeah,
Just see it as you're coming into a new country to settle. You cannot compare yourself with those that have been in the country way long before you. Like I said,
exactly.
own your journey. You're just starting. Follow the process. Don't skip any process. Follow it,
Mm-hmm.
follow through, and let God be your anchor. And He's going to see you through. I could also
Amen.
remember why trying to get an accommodation, a cheaper accommodation. I just said a word. God, lead me to an accommodation without stress. It should be cheap. You know what I want? I want, I enjoy my space alone. And I will tell you that I got an ensuite for less than £500. Trust me. Yes, for less
Wow.
than £500, all bills inclusive and everything. And also, working with God would be your greatest advantage, and it's going to help you. So that's what I
Yeah.
have to say.
Wow,
Yeah,
thank you, Bisola. It's been an exciting
my
conversation today.
pleasure.
Brilliant. You had so much experience to share with people, and I'm sure they've been blessed. They've learned a lot for you. Thank you so much for coming. And I know it was such a short notice when I informed you that I want
Yeah.
to have you, and you were happy, to contribute and
Oh,
share your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this today. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
thank you
thank you, thank
so
you. And
much.
that's it. And to my audience, if this video, if you found this really useful, please don't keep it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with someone who would find this useful. And I think that's all for today.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.